Now this is like 4 or 5 rounds in a row where I have had to add powder. I would rather be in this state than the other state, like with using a file. You can always file more or add more powder, but taking it back out, you have to just dump it out or scoop it out, and like with a file, you can't put metal back on. So I would rather be a hair under, but with this right now, everything is tight. I'm going to adjust that just a hair to get it consistent. Now, when it's consistent, you can in fact run it with it varying very little at all. If you run this stroke up and down fairly consistently, you usually get a fairly consistent result. Now, I reloaded, I don't know, 10, 15 rounds, and I had to adjust the powder flow. Everything seems tight, so I'm going to see how that holds up. But you may have to keep watching it as you go. Now, in all reality, I may not have to measure or weigh every single powder charge because I have things tight. Well, I don't have it marked with paint or a pencil or anything to see if anything has rotated. But with what I'm doing right now, because I can throw every one on a scale, that's what I'm doing. The powder flow, if everything is tight and seated right, it should be consistent. You can make it super precise by using better equipment or having the micrometer adjustment, but it works pretty well for the most part. I'm reloading P57 brass for a revolver for cowboy action shooting. I'm using P57 brass, not 38 special, because I don't like having to go in and keep cleaning out the end of the chamber, because the 38 brass is shorter and you get all that extra fouling and carbon and buildup at the bottom of your chamber, and that causes the full-length brass to be sticky to extract and just have general issues. So I know in doing that, I'm getting a less efficient combustion because there's more airspace in the case. Checking that with chronograph and comparing the results with using different powder, different weight of powder, I'm getting somewhere between 25 and 50 extreme spread. Roughly. I don't remember quite off the top of my head what the data was yet. We had it in the computer. But that's not too terribly bad since this is close range shooting and it's not terribly precise. If I was doing bench rest shooting or 1,000-yard shooting, that kind of stuff, I would have everything measured out exactly dead nuts. But for these, you're allowed a little bit of liberty just because they are light loads, because you have to be under certain velocity requirements, and you just, I wouldn't be trying to play the game with, using a less than optimally filled case at a maximum powder charge, which would be giving erratic results. These are a fairly light load, low velocity to be under the rules. So that's why I'm using P57 brass, not 38. These are practice rounds. I have, for all of this brass, is multiple time fired that I've pieced together, I've gotten from people, and it's mixed head stamps. Basically, it's mostly Federal, Remington, and Winchester. So it's mixed brass, and it's practice loads. I'm not terribly concerned. It's, like I said, it's not super precision. But I also, whenever I buy new cartridge or guns with a different cartridge than I already have set up, I got 500 pieces of brand new shiny brass from Cabela's, so that I have new brass conceivably for the rest of my life. With P57, that probably would never be a problem, because it's not oddball. Now, for like the 41 Magnum that I have, getting all that brass when it was available is really, really nice. Because what I found with bullets and such for that is that because it's kind of an oddball caliber, kind of a hunting caliber and niche market only, they don't always make stuff for it all year round. So if you have something like that, get it while you can, because it might not be available till next hunting season or whatever. On the same thing, I have a bolt-action rifle in .358 Winchester, which is the top end of the .308 family of brass. It's a .308 case necked up to .35 caliber. Well, that stuff, trying to find ammo for it, it's like $50 for a box of 20. That's $2.50 a pop. I mean, that's half as much as a 50 is to shoot. That's just dumb. Reloading it doesn't cost me any more than, well, really, than like a .308 does. A little bit more on bullets, but same size brass, same primers, about the same powder. So, reloading is the way to go for oddball stuff, definitely. Your more common stuff, may not need it. Now, I reload all of my high-power rifles, or for all my high-power rifles that I shoot for accuracy or I hunt with. Otherwise, I use mainly cheap steel case ammo, and I'm a big fan of Brown Bear. Not that Wolf is evil or anything, I just think that it's dirtier, and if it's steel case and it's the same price, I'll shoot something that's a hair cleaner. And no, it's not as good or consistent as brass case, but I shoot that in 223, 7.62 by 39, and .308. And I haven't had any real issues with it. I've had one rim on a 223 rip off, and so it got stuck in the chamber and I beat it out with a rod. It's the only real failure I've had of that brass, or that's actually steel, but of the case in that cheap steel case Russian stuff. And, I don't know, 10, 15,000 rounds in various calibers. So, with that stuff, that's more plinking ammo. I'm not shooting any of that stuff for super precision. And also, with them being semi-autos, I don't like reloading for semi-autos. Just because I think it dings your brass up more. It throws it, so you got to go find it. On a good day, I'll find 75 to 80% of the brass out of a semi-auto if I'm trying. Like with shooting 45 or 9 or 223, I generally have found about half to three-quarters of it on average. So if you're spending all your time trimming cases, having fairly new brass, cleaning out military primer crimps, working diligent to do all that stuff right, and then you lose about a quarter of it every time you go shoot, to me that just seems like a little bit ineffective. So for all the plinking ammo stuff that I have, and for playing around at the range, I use cheap steel case stuff. Non-corrosive, but steel case. When I want to get serious and be accurate, I'll go to Reloads or I'll buy good brass case American ammo. But for plinking or even, like some kind of like a three-gun shoot or, something where, you're competing but you're not shooting for, like bench rest accuracy, I don't see a real issue with using cheap ammo. Now, for hunting or, for precision target shooting, I wouldn't use it. But I mean, for playing around, for practicing, even doing three-gun stuff, I don't mind steel case. Just because, if you're using real ammo just for matches, then that's one thing. But to practice with brass case ammo that you purchase, which is expensive, or to reload everything, I think you're just going to be picking up a whole lot of brass. Now, if I do get brass case ammo and shoot it, I try to pick it up. Actually, lately I haven't been picking up 9. With the price of 9mm ammo at Walmart, I don't really see the point to me reloading it. I'm seeing, like the 250 boxes of Remington UMC at Walmart are right around $50, maybe 55. you're looking at, less than like 22, 25 cents a round. Now, by reloading, if I have to take the time, which is also worth money, prep all the cases and everything else, if I go get lead bullets for 9 mil, and I'm using, a light amount of powder, because it's, a 9, I can probably get away with, once I have the brass, maybe 12 to 15, 16 cents a round, somewhere in there. And if it only costs 22 cents or 25 cents a round to buy brand new, yeah, I'm paying like a third more, but I'm also saving time. I mean, if I can only do 100 rounds an hour once all my brass is prepped, factor in the prep time and changing things over, I just don't see the payoff in reloading 9. So basically, I say with reloading, you should probably pick your battles on what you want to reload for. Now, I think that for bolt-action rifle and revolver, you don't have to go chase your brass. Keep it right there on the bench or throw it right in your pocket. But all your semi-autos, it's all over the ground. Got to go pick it up, find it, whatever. I know you can use brass catchers, but I've always had problems with them. Where you get, 10, 20 rounds in there, and all of a sudden the bag collapses, and then stuff jams up. So I stopped using them. And basically, I mean, if it's going to throw brass everywhere, you can put up, sheets or blankets and have it funnel into a box or something. You can do it that way, and that works okay if you don't move. You can't really do something like that if you're doing, some kind of a drill involving movement, or you're changing distances on like a static distance target or berm. So say you only have one target to shoot at. Well, you want to change your distance, you have to move back and forth. If you're doing that, you're going to leave a pile of brass at every range that you want to shoot at. Problematic. So, I mean, you can do it. I know guys that do, that reload for 223s, and, they're nice and accurate, and they go pick up all their brass afterwards, and I don't see the angle in it. But anyway, I'm going to get back to work and try to finish these up, knock some of these out before I go to bed tonight, so I can go shooting in the morning and have lots of fun. So, that's a little bit on my take on reloading. This is Bones on Campus, signing off.